panel said, the beginning might not be too easy for him.
Absolutely. Very aggressive kind of entire draft that Aurora's gone for. Very early fighting. We should be in for a very battle-heavy game across the board. And also, I did hear Gunnar say, interesting point of the facet, he did switch it on the Mars. He had that Bloodsport selected, if I'm not, or the other one selected, if I'm not mistaken, at the start, and then switched it up. But he is going for the Bloodsport, so preventing any of these saves, looking to fight him in that area. They're going to be a lot about just team fight, area control, right? I feel like both sides a little bit, but more OG fighting around just the Pango roll and the Mars ult if they're able to get out of these lanes in a good spot. While Aurora, they have a plethora of team fight. Great synergy across the board for their draft as well, too. So, OG, see how they can withstand the pressure of that early game. Because this has been the bread and butter, at least for what we've seen from Kingslayer, right? I'm going to say Kingslayer sometimes, but mostly... I'm going to say 23 Savage most of the times, but he's had a very good time on the gyrocopter in a lot of the games.
Back in my day when he was 23, back in the play-ins last week. Yeah, we saw a couple of games, and it was pretty insane, right? He was getting crazy levels of farm. And having a wonderful time on the gyrocopter. But this game, you feel like it's... Like, what are going to be the big threats to the gyro and kind of messing his game plan up?
Just getting him trapped and getting him next to the Ursa, right? If he gets just trapped inside this Mars ult, it could be difficult for him to just escape. And BKB is probably going to be necessary relatively early because of that, which you don't really always see on these gyros. They tend to greed it up. The Ags, the crit, etc. We'll see when he looks to put that BKB in, depending on how the pressure does come. Because, yeah, there's two different massive control spells coming from that offlaner and from the mid laner. But if he just gets tanky enough inside the laning phase, if they do get an advantage, then he maybe can just dodge it and just go for those standard gyro items.
Sure, because how's his lane top then for Kingslayer?
It's a pretty good lane, but it's it's one of those that can Rubik. We'll see how much the Rubik gets. Ari1's one of those like skill heroes that if you do just play it super well, you can make some type of tricky stuff happen. But overall, I'd say it's pretty safe for the gyro. A lot of spam, being able to push out the lanes. Hard to get aggressive versus Phoenix as well too. So. See where they look to move things around. As Ari's already looking for some courier snipes. He might be able to find a double. That's the one. Oh, okay. They're not careful with the couriers at all.
Yep. There we go. Easy money there for OG.
Definitely not what you want to see in that safe play. Those things matter. The tricky little slip-ups that the Rubik can do. That's a way to be able to kind of turn a lane if you get a item advantage in the first minute, especially too. And maybe bottom, Tomato, this one will be a bit of a slow one for him. Very aggressive lane that they've gone for here. Hoodwink, believe they're saying on the panel, even as a first pick hero, it's boasting well over a 60% win rate from the first pick. If I'm not mistaken, I think I saw it had like a 70% across the board. So pretty ridiculous on this 4 position.
Yeah, it's so annoying. I mean, and these two as a duo, they hit the level 2, the amount of burst that they're going to be able to offer up and threaten the Ursa with is going to be pretty huge between Japs and Q.
And even mid-game and stuff like that, it's good burst damage, but it's also this built-in, it's a break, right? So versus all 3 of the cores, the break can be not incredible, but it will have a use. Versus the Ursa, it's pretty good, of course. Mid lane, BZM, he's been, these two are the probably ones that we want to talk about the most, at least in particular, and how games have gone for OG, because I feel like they've been dictators of a lot of the early game. BZM has really impressed afterwards here in this group stages so far, and Lauren up during the play-ins was a driving force. A couple games where I believe he didn't even die. He's been struggling a little bit more on this main stage. I saw him getting really bullied by Malrine yesterday, and see how he's able to do versus BZM, because BZM is just back in his form.
He is, and he's right now got a little bit of a lead on the Pango here in this mid lane BZM, so impressive stuff, because definitely a lane where I feel like DK
can take advantage.
It really can. We've seen DK versus Pangos, and I feel like most of the time the DK will just out CS, get the majority of the denies. This time around it's very close, and if anything, BZM is slightly ahead. Yeah,
I think once the bracers start coming out, it gets worse, a little bit worse for the Pango, but he's able to secure CS, every single time with the double nukes. But yeah, double bracers versus the bottle kind of build, and even with that, the Pango almost has match damage. So far, BZM doing very good there. And seeing Gyro actually getting slowed down a tiny little bit, similar to the Ursa. Yeah, probably because of the courier kills as well too, and they're just forcing the lane out. But
very similar sort of outcomes for the carries in the side lanes.
I really do. This one does look like it's going to be a lot of fighting, though. I mean, both teams are able to just kind of collapse on each other really early on. See, the spell stolen, what he's going to be able to get, something we always do like to talk about, of course, for these Rubiks. He's got a lot of stuns that he can definitely get. The Bushwhack, he can get even the, the DK stun, one of the nicer ones. Some options. Not really the greatest of, these double nukes, though, that sometimes you do see. Breathe Fire being one of his better, single, just straight-up nukes that he can get. Early check on these water runes. Since there's that bottle, of course, on the Pango, they're trying to prevent the fill-up so that Lorinov can start to secure a bit of that better advantage here in the mid lane.
I don't think BZM's going to really mind either way.
He still had a full bottle.
Exactly, yeah, need full HP, full mana pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 4-minute water rune's kind of whatever for him in this sort of laning matchup.
Ooh, nice try. Whisper trying to get him back into the tower there. Whisper doing great on the denies up top here. 9 right now on this Mars. We're seeing, to be honest, a rise of Mars as well, too. I've been seeing it now in a lot more games. Ramsey's playing it for Tundra quite a bit here, versus most of these range carries, and a lot versus the Gyrocopter in particular.
Yeah, it's very nice to get on top of him, and also just to kind of disrupt the effect of the flak hitting everyone with the walls of the arena being set up.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't seen too many of like these bulwark redirects anymore nowadays because it's a little bit harder to use, but definitely also possibilities, of course. And Seb's doing that move that they were mentioning on the panel, looking to get aggressive early on here. The bottom lane actually went pretty okay for the Ursa, and now he's looking to get a good advantage off of the laning phase. See if he catches Kingslayer off guard here.
Sure, I mean, how good is their chance of getting the first blood here? Do you think, is this going to work out?
Which creep does he have? And how big of a creep wave? Kind of hard to just dive straight under the tower here at this point.
Tomato's taking a lot of damage in return due to the fact that, of course, he's been left on his own for this, and it doesn't quite look like Seb's going to get an easy chance to get in under the tower and start for something.
If they step up too far, I'm watching the positioning. They're trying to pull the lane back to bait
this is the time to pounce.
Now he's too far up. They can go.
Yeah, Spirit set up beautifully onto the tree. They make the move. TPs are going to be coming in. See if they have the damage to take Kingslayer down. It doesn't look like they do. He's perfectly fine. He's now able to turn over towards Whisper, and it's going to be Whisper falling first as Q comes up with the TP. Secures first blood. They're going to be able to turn towards Seb as well. I mean,
that was nice.
They may have stepped up, but it really just was a lack of damage at that point when they tried to move in their OG. And they sort of out big brain themselves. You know, they try and go for this play. They end up giving up first blood and a kill on top of it.
And like you were saying, they were starting to get some big harassment onto Tomato, so they were probably saying, this Enchantress is missing. He's doing something. Be ready for that TP, and we saw it instantly come out. It was like splits like right away, right when they saw that vision there. And he pops I believe he popped the healing lotus so he could have that stunner. Sure. Yeah, just to get that extra damage. They do get those kills.
I mean, I think that the concerning thing as well there for OG was that even if Q didn't TP in, I don't think this Gyro was dying.
He was very tanky.
The burst was there to bring him down to about half HP, but Kingslayer would have easily been able to walk away and get back underneath his tier 1.
They didn't even pop the healing lotus on him. He actually still has 2 of them. They used the one on the Hoodwink to be able to just get the spell set up, but yeah, he was pretty fine. Raindrop, all the stat items, very tanky.
It's just sort of a question as well, if do OG really need to be trying to make these moves? Could they not be content with the fact that Tomato's having a pretty good start and be confident in the Ursa's potential to carry?
It's a standard Enchantress move, you know, that level 3 Ench move that they wanted to make. And now BZM, with a really nice rotation, should be able to get out to
Jabs is gone.
Ollie.
So if they can chase this down, should be able to get out with the dive. So indeed, BZM makes the move, makes the rotation. Won't be able to grab the Wisdom Rune away from him. Q was there to pick that up, but sets up some good action for Tomato. So yeah, Tomato, honestly, his start continues to be pretty good. Sure, he's behind on the CS, but considering what he was up against, I think he's going to be super happy. And indeed, BZM, he's going to be able to pick up another kill, at least set up for one there as he takes out Ollie. So BZM keeping things very good here for OG around this bottom lane.
Really smooth moves. And in the meantime, Ari just went straight to mid, so it's not like Lorinov could just take the tower, because sometimes when those rotations happen, you lose more than half. Ari was there, he nuked it out, so was able to keep that tower defended too. Very good moves. Even though the top one didn't work, they quickly make a move. OG's been very aggressive. I think that's what we're seeing, especially from these group stages. That's why they're having so much success. But all in all, it's pretty even.
That's very close. It's very close. I mean, both carries in a very similar point. Just a slight lead at the moment for Kingslayer on the Gyro. So the 8-minute power in is going to be the Arcane, and BZM's going to be able to grab that for himself just in time before the Dragon Tail comes in. So eyes continue to be focused on BZM with the potential moves he will be able to keep making. Seb,
he's just going to keep being active. Seb,
he's going to try and step up aggressively against Q, trying to tank through all of this with the heals that he has. Is it enough to allow him to walk away? It is not, as Aurora will be able to shut him down.
Lorinov looking for a secondary move. Ollie not in range, doesn't have dive either. Gonna start poking the tower. BZM.
Just out in time with the TP before the Rolling Thunder could be cast successfully.
Good read from 23. I believe he saw the Pango rotating on that top water route, obs that they have there, but either way, was able to just get himself out of there nicely. Does have to go back to base though. Does TP all the way back, so we'll make a venture out as Tomato's able to keep at the same net worth as a gyro in this early game versus what could have been a difficult lane.
Absolutely. Yeah. I feel like OG, they're going to be content with the fact that their Ursa's having a pretty good time.
Does feel like it. Ollie does get the dive away. BZM
going in.
Could be in trouble.
Getting caught by the Dragon Tail. He's going to try and jump out of the side. He gets caught by the homing missile, but he's still surviving. The shield crash, that little bit of a shield keeping him safe, allows him to actually roll away. In a situation where he went back in. He's going to turn back over with the shield crash, sets up onto the Dragon Knight. Lorinoff's getting burst down low, turn with the Dragon Tail to hold back Whisper. Lorinoff will be able to step away. BZM, he's ready to go in again. Another shield crash, jumps in, takes down Ollie. They've lost Seb, but BZM, he's still got mana to play with. He may just look to jump forward once again. A homing missile is going to be going the way of Whisper. He'll be able to push them back with a quick rebuke, but indeed, he will fall. So Aurora, finally kills you.
Look at BZM, he's looking to go back in.
Maybe trying to see if he can find Q on the retreat.
He's a madman. He got, what, a triple shield crash, so he just was able to tank through everything there. I didn't even see how much the number was of it. It was like 900 that he had or something.
I mean, because he looked for sure he's kind of caught one, like the Dragon Tail stun into a homing missile and underneath a cooldown. Yeah, BZM survives. He's doing a lot in this early game. BZM really pushing the hero to its limits.
Yep. 23 did come in, though, for some nice cleanup as well, too, on this gyrocopter, so was able to just swing in, keep himself... I say ahead, but actually it's even with the Ursa, so just, yeah, impressive that Tomato's able to get so much and should have a very good timing on that Battle Fury to be able to match the farm of that gyrocopter.
Which is definitely going to be a concern for
Kingslayer,
as you say, because there's always likely to be that moment down the line where you get some sort of setup on the gyro, the Ursa's able to close in on him, and the gyro ain't going to deal too well with the bear in his face.
Rotation's coming. Ahri is 6, no 6 yet onto Ollie. BZM already revving it up.
He's ready to go again. They're looking at this top lane. And in he comes, gets the angle straight away. The Stampede will be there.
Got the healing Lotus.
He's able to pop the heals to get in for a pretty good position, but Tomato's coming through with the rotation. BZM again able to cross the gyro with another hit with the Rolling Thunder. Jumps forward with the shield crash to take out Ollie. I mean, BZM's just setting up everything, though. Get the setup onto Tomato. He's going to be dropped down. I mean, they're ready to keep going for more, indeed. It's a clean hit there from Ahri with the stolen ultimate. They take out 3 heroes. Tomato's getting involved in this. I mean, these two...
BZM is doing so much.
He really is. He's setting things up. And Tomato's making sure he does not miss out on the action.
Yeah.
You know, turning up to these fights. 2-0-1 on the Ursa. The free farm continues for him. It's going to be very good timing on the Battle Fury.
He's ahead of the gyro now by a significant margin.
It's quite the worry, I think, for Aurora. Sure, it's only a 2k gold difference, but this is for a lineup that, when you look back at the setups and the lanes that we started off with, OG could have been off to a much rougher start. But
especially just for that Ursa in particular, yeah. Mm-hmm. And BZM just able to have that good time secure multiple runes, might even find another power rune here. And he's doing the same build that he did yesterday. I saw it versus a Puck, which makes more sense, but he's doing this Orchid build again. So we see it again, even with the healing Lotus. You see Kingslayer pops up, feels like he can get aggressive, then they quickly just have to depart. They don't have the Phoenix level 6.
Yeah, beautiful stuff from BZM, really setting up everything that was necessary, and even in moments like this, great heads-up move there from Whisper, realizing they could get something else from that. They're like, hey, arena's up, we can get a 3rd kill from this fight.
BZM, amp damage at the ready. He's looking to fight.
They got to run Aurora. They've got to be very cautious about how close they stay to these moves coming out from OG. OG quite threatening at this point.
They have to try to burst him pre-shield crashes at this point, it feels like. If he gets it off, he just seems way too tanky versus their lineup early. So, I mean, they do have the chain stun, so it is capabilities to be able to do so with the Centaur, the Hoodwink, the DK, who does he have the blink now? He does on Lorinoff, so see if they're able to get that chain stun to start dealing with BZM, because he's just out of control, really. It's 12 minutes in, he's part of every kill.
That's the difference in farm between Tomato and Kingslayer continues to kind of grow. There's about 1k gold difference between them right now.
And
this is still pre-Battle Fury. You give this Battle Fury to the bear and Tomato's going to start zooming ahead.
Especially because he also does, I believe, have some stacks to go back to. Seb have a couple ready for him. 3k lead off of these 13 minutes. And Jabs, he's gone down the Blade Mail route, so not looking to get that first blink since his DK did. He's looking to be a little bit more greedy. See if that ends up paying off for him. So they do need that chain stun to be able to deal with that Pango. It does feel like at this point, so I feel like that Blade Mail could be a bit of a problem for them to keep that chain stun going. They're going to start getting the push going, but OG, they're looking to fight. I believe the Mars Whisper, he's got the blink.
Yeah, this is a scary fight for Aurora to stick around for. I'd imagine they start to back off. I don't know if they want to hang around for this one. Yeah, they start to move away. They know how strong OG's team fight is right now. You know, between sort of the Mars, the Rubik, and the Pango, they have so much control and disable that every single fight, Tomato's going to find his targets.
Oh, BZM baited me. He swapped it at the last second. So he had the Orchid queued and then just switches to the Mage Slayer just to be even more survivable versus that Chain Stun. So that's going to be pretty cool because now that Chain Stun might actually not bring him down. He might be able to get the Rolling Thunder afterwards. So very kind of cool adaptation and approach. Very good versus this lineup, too. It's quite a bit of magical early on, even the Gyrocopter with the Max Barrage. Cool. And he will get another Power Rune. I believe he's gotten... Is that all of them? I think he's gotten every single one.
Aurora.
Yeah, he's gotten every one. He got Haste, he got Arcane, he got... Oh no, Lornoth got one regen. But the least useful, aggressive one, of course, there. But BZM, great control of the map here. 23 getting some downtime to get that farm going, so does have the Crystallis finished, is level 11, still keeping at a pretty good pace, but that Ursa still is going to stay ahead now.
BZM, I mean, he's pretty much on the hunt consistently. Moving around their jungle.
They're
making sure that very few places of the map feel safe for Aurora.
OG's also preventing, they're doing like preventative farm. I'm watching Seb, he's using his enchanted creeps to block the attempts at using these ancient stacks and stuff like that. So he is being very annoying, so they can get their stacks going while preventing some of these, at least from the gyro. This one stacked, but the far right one got deterred from a Wild Wing. All three cores top net worth. Rubik also having a pretty good time. The formula for OG is working right now, quite beautifully.
Yeah, it looks like with the build.
He's just, maybe he goes both, right? He's like, maybe he's just going to hold it there.
I was going to say, I don't think he's going to go for the Orchid at all. He's just going to have this casual recipe for the whole game by the looks of it.
Because I was looking, like, versus the Puck, it can make a lot of sense, right? Because you want that control. But versus, in this game, it's like versus a Phoenix.
Yeah,
you know, that's like the best one that you want. And he probably just kills him without it. He might sell it. He might go for it later. We'll see. Either way, the Mage Slayer definitely feels like it fits a little bit better this game.
But he sort of, he felt that the game was getting a little unfair, so he kind of nerfed himself. He's like, I'm going to throw 450 gold into a recipe that I'm not even going to use, just to kind of balance things out a bit. So fair play to BZM there.
And they do a great job of just the Enchantress Ursa, an old school kind of duo that can do Roche very early while everybody else is just farming. OG getting a pretty big advantage here now and looking to get aggressive with that advantage as well.
Yeah, I really think for Aurora, they've just got to try and avoid these moves.
Yep, and they even...
Fighting feels pretty rough for them right now.
Ari almost has his Blink Dagger as well, too, so he can actually get some really good spell steals as well as Slayer.
I was farming the rest of these Ancients, but sitting relatively low.
Seb's trying to steal him. He stepped up a bit far, but his team is there.
He's got a huge amount of backup. Doesn't look like they want to make the jump onto Jabs. Let's make the jump over towards the mid. Instead, they'll find Lornoth, and he's gone.
Spear.
Very quick setup. I mean, Aurora getting sort of caught out, you know, one by one, which I guess is going to be the case because they're trying to avoid these team fights.
Lornoth, he's having a bit of a struggle time again. BZM is making so many moves around. He may be feeling pressured a little bit here. He gets caught out at his tower.
Kingslayer, this was greedy as well. Tries to push out the wave down bottom. I mean, Whisper and Tomato, they're making their way over towards him. He's gone.
Classic Rubik contribution right there. Secured. Massive kills, and they're looking to turn it into more. Already pinging out toward mid. Ari now has that breathe fire, so double nuke to be able to burst heroes.
I mean, how did Aurora sort of stabilize this game? It does feel like it's starting to get out of control.
I mean, they have to start bringing Jabs. Jabs has to start getting involved a little bit. He's just been kind of AFK farming that Blade Mail, which he has finished now. Still no blink, but they're just moving kind of freely around the map, it feels like, on OG. Aurora needs something to start going their way. And look at Whisper. So more of an adaptation kind of build, playing versus that Gyrocopter. It looks like you might just rush the Crimson Guard. And Gyrocopter was under-farmed versus Crimson. They're going to do no damage.
Yeah, between sort of the arena, locking that down in the fights, them to some of the hits of the flak, and then the Crimson, it's going to make it very difficult for 23 or Kingslayer to fight when he does turn up.
Even the DK, the damage is going to be pretty non-existent. Jabs does have Blink. They have to start making something happen with him. But it's playing into the Aegis, so definitely not the easiest of moves either for the side of Aurora, but you got to start getting at least some type of aggressive move going for you to start opening the map for this Gyrocopter, because he's falling further and further and further behind versus a pretty difficult matchup. The Ursa able to eat that Gyro alive pretty early, and we are seeing the adaptation. I mean, Kingslayer is switching to the BKB. This is a concern I did have a little bit. You know, you will have to adapt versus this massive control.
They're going to get the jump onto the Pango. They're going to see if they can burst through BZM, but they can't. You get the shield crash off the arena's down. It's caught the three of them. They've lost Q. They're trying to bring Kingslayer in to do some damage, but at this point, he's just not ready to fight. They've lost jabs.
This is out of
Kinsey's
control.
going to get jumped. The spear connects. Double kill for Tomato.
They're just steamrolling right through them, Owen.
I don't know what you do if you're Aurora. 19 minutes coming up on the clock. This game feels pretty rough.
It really does. I think now you have to start hoping for the old SCA Classic, hope for some of those overextensions and throws from OG, and try to get your farm to catch back up. But their lineup scales well. This Ursa's got such a good advantage now versus this Gyro.
Well,
and
check
they're
this
getting
again. I mean, the jump from Whisper, that's beautiful. Sort of catches the arena, gets the three of them just on the edge of the walls. And at that point, they didn't even get close to bursting BZM. They try and get the Pango, but they can't stop him from getting the shield crash off. They just don't have enough burst damage at this point.
Could we... Sorry, I was about to say, could we get that replay again just from the start?
Let's do it again.
Can we do it one more?
Let's run it back.
I wanted to see one quick
nothing
thing.
else is happening. Run it back.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter.
We might not have the technology.
We might not be able to anyway.
Laurenoff going to get jumped. He's quick with the Dragon Tail stun to stop Tomato.
Laurenoff's just getting run down.
Uh-oh. He's going to try and run. He's got the Stampede. Has to come through to save the Dragon. And Seb, he's got the push ready to go with the Skellies.
I was trying to point out with the replay was I don't know if Whisper, the initial stun was actually catching onto the Pango, and if Whisper blink Arena to cut the tree of the Hoodwink to remove the chain stun. That's kind of what I was looking for, right?
That might have been what happened, actually.
Either way,
the Pango definitely got caught by a stun, and it did feel like a very short stun.
I was just wondering if that was the case, but
that might
either
have
way,
been what happened.
BZM, his build, his play, it's been honestly absolutely perfect. He's 5-0-5. You can't ask for more from this Pango, as that difference really between him and Laurenoff it's kind of glaring. Not like to point him out, because we were mentioning Laurenoff had such a good play-ins and everything like that. He is struggling versus BZM.
Hey, we're getting you again. We're getting you again.
Let me just say.
Just for you. So
there's one stun.
The Dragon Tail, and...
I mean, it cut the thing.
It did cut the tree. The bushwhack never connected, but indeed, if the tree wasn't cut, it may have been coming in with a follow-up. Either way, probably won't kill him BZM, because at the moment, he's having a little too good of a time this game. He's making it look pretty easy, and definitely showing why OG are happy to slap out this Pango very early on in the draft with no cares in the world.
Everything's just gone so well for them, really.
And the big one you point to, right, is what this bottom lane. You're like, this
Tomato did so well.
Should not have had that good of a time, because Tomato, he was chilling. We saw, moments were made where Seb was making rotations top that didn't necessarily work out, but even when he was left on his own, they weren't really able to punish him. They weren't able to kill him. And at this point, 5-0-2. I think that's what the full BKB coming out in the Blink Battle Fury.
Massive.
This Ursa's had a brilliant time.
He's been on fire this tournament. We haven't gotten into cover OG in particular, at least us two, but
I've been hearing pretty hot right now.
Yeah, I've been hearing that Tomato, especially on his SF and stuff like that, he's been very consistent. And yeah, BZM on LAN, definitely powering up. Huge advantage now at this point. So Aurora, they've got BKB on the Gyro, BKB on the DK, but do they have damage now? They have survivability.
I mean, but do they even have that? This Ursa gets on top of it. It's really all in. You buy this BKB at this point, this early on the Gyro, because you're like, the game's going to end if I don't turn up to fight and try and do something. You turn up to fight and try and do something, you probably lose the fight and the game probably ends anyway. But at least you give it an effort.
It's like,
and they're going to try that. BKB's there because if the fight doesn't go well, if nothing happens, this BKB obviously slows down your overall progress and kind of the game you want to be playing as Gyro one. Yeah. You want to be ahead. You want to be staying ahead. You start falling behind, the game gets so hard.
Yeah, I mean, you buy the BKB to win the fight to hopefully be able to win the next fight.
Yeah, you're going all in.
But if you don't win the fight, the game's over.
Yeah.
So you're all in pretty much. Yeah, exactly. So see what they're going to build to get out of it, because OG, they're playing it calm. They wait for that Aegis, the Aegis reclaim. Tomato takes out the Tormentor.
Oh, what happened to his Orchid recipe?
Did he sell it?
I think he must have. I thought he was going to hold it till the end. But no, the Orchid recipe disappeared down the line somewhere. So at least got back his, 225 gold from that sale. So only minus 225 on his item progression, which he can afford to do, considering his 12.5k net worth, or just above that on this mid Pango, just 22 minutes in BZM.
It was definitely big brain. Have to see it sticking together too. Ari, BZM, Whisper. The killers are ready to find their target.
Aurora, they did come charging out the base with that BKB, but
Jabs is spotted.
Ooh, Spear's gonna miss. Just gonna chance the Stampede to be there, but it doesn't matter.
And it's stolen.
Oh.
Immediately stolen, Ari.
Yeah, one of those. I feel like, honestly, it's one of those spells you don't expect to be stolen. We've actually seen a few games where some of these Rubiks, they're just good, right? They're in the right place at the right time, and they know when this these centaurs are going to panic stampede, and they're able to grab it.
It is also a pretty, unless you're on top of somebody, it's tough to cover because the stomp has that wind-up time as well, too. You can't double-edge anything, so you're giving stampede if no one's next.
That's very true. So. You're not stampeding to run away to then stampeding to who stomp.
Can they kill BZM?
They're trying.
The stampede that's stolen will save him.
Uh-oh, and Kingslayer has the TP out.
With the BKB active.
And Q is dead.
Oh, gee.
Wow, these guys are good.
These guys are impressing a lot.
This is looking like a pretty good tournament for them.
Yeah,
for the results so far and what we're seeing here in this game.
BZM now healed up pretty much to full, can keep himself aggressive. And even just look to run at Lorinov, who just can do nothing this game versus this Pango. He just literally has to keep running away. He's terrified. If this Ursa gets on top of him, he knows he's just dead.
Lincoln's finally there. That sets tier 2 tower. It's looking, looking all OG this game.
Yep, smooth sailing, really. The Rubik ahead of the Centaur. The Enchantress about to surpass jabs on the Centaur as well. They'll be able to itemize as well, too, to deal with the Kingslayer Gyrocopter, who's just, like you said, went for the BKB, so it's all in, so his farm is completely fallen off.
The Axe is going to be obviously come very slow now into that Daedalus. It's going to need a lot of time. And OG, I don't think they'll be afraid of going up to the high ground, especially if they want to wait up for that next Roche and then go for it. They've got ways to jump, ways to lead him, and just sort of break the base.
It feels like they have lots of options at this point. They can slow the pace of the game down on side of OG. They can look to pressure too, because the timings on the gyros are just ruined. Because if he can go the Ags and he can get Butterfly or something like that, if you're even able to get the realms of that type of farm, Ursa's going to have absolutely every single solution. And that's, that's saying a lot if he's able to actually even ever get that type of farm, because they have no map.
The fact that the game's kind of slowed down a little bit definitely makes the BKB pickup kind of...
It hurts.
You kind of regret it.
Yeah.
You're like, well, if they weren't actually going to end the game and just come running at the high ground, maybe I could have gotten away with the Ags and start building into the Daedalus next. Actually, we've had some significant amount of damage ready for the high ground defense, but it indeed is a very tough game to make these sort of calls with the gyro.
Yeah, now it's like maybe they're going to wait for those triple BKB timings. Jab's getting closer to his, but either way, this is not your ideal timings for something like that Centaur. No. It's just everything's been slowed down, and you have to go back a bit to, they did pick it to try to pressure, right? The Centaur, like you said, just didn't pressure. Did not pressure the Ursa. And then they're playing Centaur.
That lane just didn't go well enough for the two of them on Aurora.
And then they're playing Centaur into Mars, which is, Mars is a counter pick to the Centaur in the past quite often. Still the Stampede stolen. Ari might look to force the BKB at the least of Lorinov.
Check the tree line just in case he did hide in it amongst the trees, but wasn't the case, so Lorinov gets away this time.
Hanging on to the Stampede still.
Q still hanging around.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Except for Ollie.
They're just trying to find any farm that they can. I mean, they know that the only way they win this game is if they can somehow get slotted up and...
I mean, that's the hype about this game. When you get these games that are kind of this, going one way so severely this early, it's like, well, if Aurora somehow managed to turn this game around, it's going to be pretty insane.
Their high ground is not as good as the other day, though, when they had the ET and the Sniper. I mean, they had one of the best, one of the best high ground defenses. This one, they have the Phoenix, which is okay, but yeah, I mean, the two supports probably are the two better ones at that high ground defense with the gyro, but it's not as good as a Sniper.
Yeah, it's like the gyro, he needs to be able to get his Ags, Daedalus, and a Divine Rapier. And then we're
probably, yeah.
But that is a lot of money away.
Yep.
He's even queuing up the Butterfly after all of that.
You have to, I mean, you kind of have. But then, like I was mentioning before,
this is a lot of time.
Yeah, and the Ursa will be able, he can do whatever he wants to itemize versus it. They'll be able to get this Roche also. They're going to hunt first with the Stampede.
Yeah, I think it was coming to an end as well. So Ari just getting that out. Ooh, nice spear.
Catches him perfectly.
He's not going to be able to stop him getting the egg off. The egg's there. In fact, they might be able to kill Ari. Lorinov steps up with the Dragon Tail. Ari.
Protection.
He's glimmered up. Japs, he's able to follow up with a Who Stomp. They'll be able to take the Rubik out.
That's a pretty big step, at least.
Whisper, he's fighting Q, and he has got the backup of BZM. Q, look at him in a spot of bother here. Easy connection for BZM multiple times with the Rolling Thunder to pick up another kill.
And they do get the Roche anyway in the meantime. So overall, Ari, maybe a little bit of an over-aggressive positioning there, but a great egg that comes out from the Phoenix, and they do lose their gem because of it. So a small gain, at the least here for Aurora, to be able to maybe play some high ground, or some positions where they can play around like a ward on a high ground or something like that and catch OG off guard. Oh, nope. Whoa. And he's caught.
Easy Wisdom Rune, and with the Ursa in town, easy kill.
And he even pops the BKB.
And the TP.
Ooh. The BKB, I mean, now it's going to be on cooldown when he does respawn. That one was probably not necessary.
I mean, I think OG's definitely going to feel that they can Just really try and end it here. Bring the push up. There's no
Tomato.
DK for 35 seconds. Sure, he's got buyback, but as you say, if he's buying back, he's not going to have a BKB.
And look at the positioning from Tomato. He's stepping up far so he can give vision. So if Whisper sees anybody, they can just jump and almost insta-kill somebody.
Are fortified.
Back up now, Whisper. Will soak the hits. I don't think we've even seen the Crimson Guard have to be used, but it's ready in case there is a fight from that gyro.
Radiant's top
Get the Yule's catch.
Oh yeah, Whisper's in. And Tomatoes, well, they're ready to start dive up and towards the Ancient. Jabs is in with a Who Stomp on towards Whisper.
Decent damage.
Kingsley's bringing in the damage. They are able to take out one of them. Jabs has got to
Storm
back up to the
Tempered.
fountain. Indeed, again, OG, Ari. I'm going to make sure that OG can play the distance and get back
Dire's bottom tower
into the push to take out the tower.
Able to kill him through it, the Crimson Guard. He had the greater healing Lotus too. If he got out of that stun, he was gonna live, but able to chain stun him. Surprised he went down to the damage. I know it's a gyro just wailing on him, but either way, it's a very tanky Mars.
I mean, they'll take that. You know, losing a hoopwing, getting the kill on Whisper, taking down the offlaner.
It is BKBs and everything used though to survive. So now they have to be careful.
Tomato, he's in. He's going to be able to fight Jabs in the tree line. He takes him down single-handedly. The Centaur just gone like that.
in an instant. And the racks.
Dire's bottom
It's going to be hard to hold now, especially with Jabs. Oh, no buyback. He's dead for 40 seconds on the Centaur.
Anyone who steps up also is at risk of
Tomato's just ready to
dying.
go again. He's just running up. He's chasing them all back to the fountain. They'll turn with the stuns. They'll be able to burst him relatively low, but he's still got the Aegis and the BKB, so Tomato, no fear whatsoever.
And he's got heals too. Seb, pump it back up to full. That racks, it drops.
Dire's bottom barracks has fallen.
All right, Tomato. They'll blink out for now.
And Whisper's back up, and they can look to keep going with this push. Whisper's like, I'm on my way. Don't worry, guys. Keep it going.
Kingslayer desperately trying to get this butterfly.
He's so far.
It's a long way.
He just has to go out whenever he can to get any extra farm because he knows that push is just going to immediately run on his mid. 2 minutes still. Tomato with the Aegis.
If you get that butterfly, get that rapier, maybe there's a chance there for Kingslayer.
So much gold.
OG, 18k ahead here, 30 minutes in. Pushing up again here down the mid lane.
Seb looking for a Wild Wing pullback or a Wild Wing push away.
Tier 3's gone.
Here comes 23, the Kingslayer.
Has fallen.
There's the jump long enough, tries the
Seb.
Dragon Tail.
He's perfectly fine. Whisper walks up immediately.
Using guard pot, BZM ready with the Rolling Thunder. Running away with this push. Tomato gets caught by the bushwhack. So with the Aegis, of course, BZM's in. Jab's going to be able to jump and get a 3-man Who Stomp. They got the cooldown down as well, onto the 3 of them. Tomato's burst slow, he's taken out the once. That's the Aegis
Gyro,
from the
23.
Whisper. He's in with the spear, he's able to catch Kingslayer, but the BKB's there at the ready. Kingslayer's got to back up with this one, though. Stampede is popped to allow Kingslayer and Loronos to retreat. Loronos tries to turn with the BKB. Another bushwhack comes in from Q. Sharpshooter as well onto Seb, but not enough burst to threaten him. Seb's still with about 60% HP. OG, they can keep this push going.
They're all just kind of full HP, even though there's some beautiful stuns that comes out from Jabs, and that's nothing. Just a kill onto that Aegis. They keep going.
Dire's middle barracks.
And those BKBs down on Aurora's heroes means they're a lot more scared to go in versus OG now.
Especially without the Stampede to allow them to disengage. The jump goes bad, they have to just sit back, watch the second set of racks be taken out by OG.
And Ari does have the Dragon Tail stolen too, so whoever gets caught in that stun probably just gets burst instantly. OG, a decisive hit. Finishing up more items, just staying outside the base too, just to keep that pressure going. They do not want Aurora to get out and get any extra farm.
Full
Dire's
Whistle Blade.
top tower is under attack.
Tomato, we saw already just how willing he was to just jump in,
Radiant's top tower is under
fully
attack.
commit on any of these targets, even the tankier ones, even Jabs.
They're gonna smoke, they're gonna look for this jump.
Dire's
Whisper
top tower
jumps
has
in to
fallen.
break that smoke.
Radiant's top tower
Kingslayer heading back to the defense. He's been able to pick up his Eagle song.
Okay, quick blink out there. Here comes BZM.
Hey, straight in. He's able to catch the 3 of them
chain
immediately
stun.
with the Rolling Thunder. They get the spear to follow up on towards Kingslayer's in trouble. Jump forward from Tomato, but the Glimmer's there. They don't have to
No
catch it from
detection.
Kingslayer. He's able to step back a little bit, but another Rolling Thunder catches it onto him. The impetuses are flying in from Seb. He'll get the BKB off
He's still
Kingslayer.
alive.
He's still alive. He's managed to survive through it all. He'll get back, and Whisper will get shot down by Q.
Can they get more kills? Seb.
Dive forward. They're burning Seb low. They're able to
Get him.
take him out. Aurora, they are able to push back OG as they keep everyone alive. Kingslayer, amidst all of that, we saw everyone just trying to focus him, take down this gyro. They got him low, but they couldn't quite kill him this time.
They didn't have detection. He got glimmered, and they're like, uh-oh, no one has a dust. We lost our gem earlier. Didn't
All
get
right.
to retrieve it. He's able to just slip away. They
It's-
hang on a little longer.
They do. It's a little bit of something on this road towards the butterfly into the satanic. He really doesn't want the rapier. Or maybe Kingslayer's chilling. He's like, hey, this game's not going to end anytime soon. We're going to be able to hold. I'm just going to continue to fill out my build just as I would have done anyway. I don't need to do anything drastic. That's his plan here, Kingslayer.
He's close to this butter. Another jump, DK.
Oh, Lornoff's in trouble.
Stunned up.
Yeah, Abyssal Blade comes in. There's no chance for him.
Eaten alive. Tomato also, by the way, now he's carrying dust. So in that next situation,
there we go. He's ready for it.
You silly supports, I don't even need you. Buys the dust for himself. He has that slot. And the support just saying, you could have done that earlier. You had the slot anyway, so whatever. Did go Abyssal Blade. So with that butterfly, if it does come out, there will be a small window for him to just survive a little longer, but they do pass over the gem now also to Tomato, as they were, I believe, able to reclaim that one.
Oh, I like that as well. Disassembling the Crystallis so he get the sword to get the butterfly ASAP.
Cool.
There we have some little moves from
Ooh, nice, yeah.
Kingslayer.
I haven't seen anyone do that one, I don't think.
Dire's top barracks.
Yeah, I guess knowing the Crystallis would have been a Daedalus, but this game not quite yet, so still had the option to do that.
Jump forward.
Jump on towards Q. Can they get him out to safety? They can't. Q's gone. BKB out from Kingslayer. Arena's down. Jabs jumps him with the burst on towards Whisper, but Whisper's going to get forced back to safety now. The BKB coming to an end from Kingslayer.
BZM's just in there.
He's got to be careful, Kingslayer. BZM, slide the side, does get caught by the root. The bushwhack as well. If they've got enough damage to take him down, they have not. As the jump forward from Jabs, it is there. They actually have.
They're on 23.
They were able to kill him, but indeed, Kingslayer's in trouble. The Supernova's out. He's standing his ground. He's getting caught with the match. Kingslayer will die, but he does manage to bring down the Ursa with him. Ari's also going to fall. They get the root onto Seb. The defense continues here for Aurora as they chase the Enchantress out. I mean, sure, Kingslayer died, but Aurora,
some cleanup.
They keep the game alive.
Very nicely done. OG is just pushing forward and pushing forward for the gyro, but Aurora, in their base, they do get that egg off. They get a good positioning for it this time.
They do. It just so much had to be focused on the gyro that indeed didn't give the chance for OG to kind of keep the other threats in check. Aurora, they're keeping this game alive. They're holding.
And OG is pressing forward without a Roshan, right? They're really diving forward here without waiting for an Aegis or anything like that. And it's a fast respawn. It's instant. It's like 12-second respawn pretty much on that rush.
Yeah, they could have held back for that one for sure.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
They're playing a little over-aggressive here, and Aurora is benefiting heavily because of it.
They're getting to play.
They absolutely are. The experience especially now has almost hit even, but still needing that little bit more on the gyrocopter. And that Roche, OG's gonna be alive for it.
Radiant are scared.
See the positioning. They've got the wards at the ready here on Aurora.
I mean,
Ultis.
OGs should still be pretty good to get.
They've got all their ults up, and Phoenix Egg is not up right now.
Jabs. It's very quick with the stance
moving. They got the Phoenix.
Turn over towards the Phoenix. Catch him in the combo. They'll burst through him, but he has got buyback, so he can rejoin this fight if he wants to. Ari's gone. Same for him. We'll see if the buybacks do come into play. Yeah, Ari, he'll buy back straight away. Jabs is going to get caught out to the side. Aurora, they might just bail out and let the Centaur die.
Means they just have to make the call to just sacrifice that Roche.
And also, of course, sacrifice the fact that, Jabs, he's going to be out for 70 seconds and did not have, actually, just the gold.
They're going to try for it. Trying without the Centaur. It's going to be a hard one.
This is risky. Going for this fight without Jabs. I mean, they can maybe go for the... Because he's not got the money for buyback, they can fight with sort of the threat that he has buyback. He's going to be TPing in, so maybe OG's going to be a little bit scared.
They also just probably feel like they absolutely have to fight this Roche. They have the vision as well inside there right now.
It's a huge risk.
I mean, OG's going to be ready to jump outside there. They see them.
At the least, it's slowing OG's attempts on the Roche down. Going up. Let's take off the Lincoln Sphere, follow it up with the stun. Ari turns over with the telekinesis. Tomato jumps in. Lorenoff's going to get focused first. Kingslayer stepping up to help out. The BKB's out for Lorenoff. He backs away.
Force a couple spells here. Go back into the pit.
Can they force anything else? Still very risky plays here from Aurora.
Yep, they force the BKB from the DK, and immediately Aurora just has to back up and deal with the lanes. So they will get away with this Roche. It is an Ags as well.
Who's taking it? BZM?
I think you just give it to Ursa.
Okay.
Is he going to give it to Ari? I don't think so. I feel like he should just take it himself at this point.
BZM already had his own, right?
Yeah, I think Tomato should take it because he's being super aggressive, and I feel like he just needs anything he can just to be able to dive forward as much as possible.
You're right. Wait, he did give it away, right?
No, he took it. Ursa took it.
Oh, yeah. My bad. He's got it. He's got it.
And he is getting closer.
He's got the Age, he's got the Ags. He's ready to go.
Closer to the MKB as well, just to full focus that gyro. Slayer.
I mean, OG's still going to be a bit careful about this. The last few pushes haven't gone too hot for them.
Kingslayer. He's being a bit bold here.
Oh, yeah. My bad. He's got it. He's got it.
And he is getting closer.
He's got the age, he's got the Ags. He's ready to go.
Closer to the MKB as well, just to full focus that gyro. Slayer.
I mean, OG's still going to be a bit careful about this. The last few pushes haven't gone too hot for them.
Kingslayer. He's being a bit bold here. Does have to be careful of the chain stun.
He's got a fair bit of evasion though now with the butterfly on the behind. The jump there onto the Phoenix. That's going to be Ollie gone. He's not able to get any single spell out in this fight. The BKBs are out for Kingslayer's jabs. So they try and hold their ground with the Stampede. Kingslayer trying to get back towards the fountain. BZM's in with a burst. Not quite enough to kill him. They're able to catch the stun on towards the BZM Pango. Kingslayer backs up to heal up.
The Phoenix died instantly, and also
straight away.
I watched 23's damage. He was tickling them through that Crimson Guard, Owen. It was doing like nothing.
Yeah, it was great heads-up play from Whisper. He knew exactly who to go for. Just go straight for the Phoenix, take him out of the fight.
Now Mega Creeps have been claimed inside the base. 4v5. OG ready to jump, whoever shows. Seb working on the huts, the buildings.
Radiant are scanning.
That's a jump Tomato. Some of the Abyssal. Spear's going to connect onto him as well. Tomato's to get pushed back. Will get caught by the root jabs. Gets the Who Stomp up, but the impetus is coming out from Seb. Bring him down. Look at this. The Hurricane Pike away. Kingslayer trying to get damage out, but as you say, barely any's coming from this gyro at all whatsoever. They get a Dragon Tail onto Whisper.
He's just soaking it all up with the Bulwark, too.
And they'll be able to hit him with the Sharp Shot. They're still trying to make this fight happen. 20 seconds until the Phoenix is back up, and they'll have a Supernova to offer up into the team fight. Lonos jumps in with the follower, starting to look towards Whisper. Can they bring this Mars down? He's up in the air with the Yules. Lorenos going to back up, but he's caught by the bashes. He's not getting back to the fountain. Lorenos out. Telekinesis there onto the gyro, holds him outside the fountain. Kingslayer's gone. GG is called. OG here for Kingslayer, aka Mr. 23. And now the question is, folks, how well is Nagasari going to be able to do? And why do you think they went for the Nagasari in this game?
I think they went for it because they were just worried about this Slardar matchup. In particular, they want to be able to stall the game out and get to these later tails of being able to scale and stuff like that. But OG has not been really letting too many teams do that. They've been running away with games early, and I'm super glad that Gunnar finished off that panel with what I was thinking as well, too. The Naga into the Ember and that Elder Titan. It does feel difficult. I don't know. I'm not really the biggest fan of this hero at the moment either. It feels very, very greedy in a lot of situations. I'm looking forward to what 23 is going to be able to do if he can stall the game out, but if he can't, this game could just end before he actually becomes a hero, exists. And they might have ways to just deal with him anyway. The way that now these Embers and the way these ETs, even as a 5 position, can play in a lot of situations. The later and later it progresses, natural order just gets better and better also versus that Naga Siren. So I definitely have my concerns for Aurora, but if they can stall the game out, they do have a very strong late game draft. But OG does too, so.
Oh, let's see. First blood.
Tomato.
Something going down here. Tomato indeed. He's going to be the first to be taken out. So
Big
jabs get first blood. They'll lose Q in return as Sep able to slap him down. So 1 for 1, but first blood going the way of Aurora.
It's an important one, especially. This is one of the lanes that I think can be a bit volatile. ET overall does secure most of these lanes in quite a few of these situations, but versus these two that can slow the attack speed consistently, make these miss rates and stuff like that happen, could be a bit annoying for Seb to get that zone to be able to protect Tomato. So I'm going to be looking at this one quite a lot.
Root and Snap. Not too afraid of a fight early on.
A grenade. Seb. Big damage.
What? It's going to be fine.
He's got the salve too.
A little bit of
the reset.
Body block there from Tomato just to make sure Q can get that last right click in onto Seb.
It's common you see this from these snaps, especially too. They hit really hard because of that new buckshot, you know, just the innate when you do get those extra damage hits that comes out. But then you see that attack range that you used to miss, you know, that little bit of extra that the snap is now missing. Seb again. It's going to be constant trades and back and forth of the ET Spirit versus the double nukes to prevent him from getting any hits. Gunnar was mentioning, you know, these attack speed slows plus movement slows are very valuable versus ET in laning phase. It's the, you know, the movement speed slow is essentially both. And at bottom, I'm wondering how the Naga is going to be able to do, because they did pick it in particular just to be able to deal with the pressure that could come out from a Slardar. But it is still going to be that melee matchup.
It is, yeah, it depends. I mean, when you have sort of illusions in the lane, can Rubik and Slardar clear them easily enough, like is the burst enough between sort of like the Crushers and the Fade Bolts?
Early, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's why I'm just worried, because I'm not the biggest fan of this hero right now. The illusions just don't seem as strong as they once were, and opening up the map, it still is good, being able to delay and stuff like that, but teams are also closing games a lot faster. They're getting auras. They're just putting the pressure on a lot faster than they were before, when we were seeing quite a bit more Naga Siren. I think back at Birmingham especially too, we were seeing quite a bit of it, but
Oh,
Most
dude,
teams have fallen away from it. What's that?
a big brain play that could come in.
Was
maybe.
Which one?
Kingslayer didn't account for. Obviously, the. Oh, no, never mind.
What are you going to say?
I thought he was going to go. Because he had Chain Gang selected at the start, but he actually obviously settled.
He switched. Yeah.
He switched back. But if he had Chain Gang, just imagine, right? You throw a Remnant in. Oh.
No, go ahead. You're right. You're fine. I'll talk about it
Sure.
afterwards.
But you know what I mean? He's songs, he's TPing, and you can throw a Remnant into the song, and then chain.
Dude, how come you think about these cool things when you're casting, and then when you're playing with me, you do all these dumb things? Like, what the hell?
But you know what I mean?
That's a great
That could be pretty
call.
good against the Naga
Yeah,
nowadays,
I
right?
love it.
But he didn't take it because he didn't go for Chain Gang.
No, but either way.
Yeah.
So, thing I was going to point out that I got excited for is Ari's doing something that I've been theory crafting and doing in my games and a bunch of my pubs and everything. I've been seeing more of the Rubik's do is he takes the Arcane Supremacy at level 2. It's really strong since you get attack damage. You get 8 damage in laning phase when you have just a couple stat items. So he has 68 damage as this Rubik tool to bring extra harassment and stuff like that. So it's small, you know, now you don't have to lift for the lane to get aggressive, but I don't think they're looking to go for kills too much in this lane rather than just slow down the farm in particular of Kingslayer until more levels come out. And by then they'll have the lift, so yeah, cool to see.
Well, so talking about the mid lane matchup as well, Lauren off this game, do you think there's more of a chance for him to have a good game? Do you like to see him on his Storm?
Yeah, I think the hero is definitely still strong, but I know a bunch of the pros are saying they don't like it nearly as much as they did before top.
Tomato is trying to stand his ground and trade with Q, but Tomato's going to lose his life first. We'll see if Seb can find Q and return. A good cookie off to the side. Q, he's able to back off, stay alive. Seb won't be able to find the trade this time round, so Tomato taken out as Aurora's the duo lane up here.
This lane's really good.
It's doing so much better than last game, right? We said last game that should have maybe been a situation in which they were able to threaten Tomato's Ursa. They weren't. He had a great time. This time around, they're stepping it up. They're actually putting pressure on, and they're killing off this Klings.
Yeah, they prepared very well versus this ET. The level 3's been hit. This is one of the big power spikes, too, for that ET since he does have the level 2 in the Spirit. But so far, yeah, slowed down that Klings a lot. 2 kills onto him. They're getting a great setup for the Brew to go for this new item build that we're seeing on these Brews. We've been seeing more and more of these Arcane Boots, Vessel, maxing the Thunderclap, maxing the Cinder Brew to be able to apply more pressure early on rather than slowing down and looking for Radiance. BCM.
Got enough control between the two of them.
It's quite a bit of damage.
It certainly is. We'll get the Flame Guard off, but underneath the tower, PZM will be fine. Throw fire, he'll survive.
And overall, yeah, Lorinov definitely can do quite a bit more. I mean, Tomato's still continuing to eat a lot of hits here, Jabs.
He's not having fun against Jabs.
It's just a 1v run right now.
I mean, Jabs has got a clap and an
He's thinking about it.
Yeah, he could just pop the uncharge. Good jump over to the side there from Tomato.
Still going to be able to walk him down. Tomato juking, trying to. He's looking pretty dead.
I mean, they've got him, Jabs. I mean, yeah, absolutely making up for just what was a bit of a rough game one, right? Not only just the laning stage, but he just never really was able to do much as the center in that first game. This game, just completely different level of performance. 3 kills already on this off lane.
Love it.
Brewmaster, I mean, it doesn't get much better. You can't ask for more from your offlane in the first 5 minutes.
No, especially also Q left mid, or Q left to go to mid, and he was still able to get a solo kill. Yep. He's going to hit level 6 at probably record time on this Brewmaster because of that. So very early itemization he's going to be able to get, and early 6, which could be difficult for Tomato to stand up there, or even Seb. Could be very difficult for them to show heroes up here.
You've got earn charges to play with, and yet with the 6 as well. Once that's there, you don't want to come to this lane unless you're going to be bringing in some sort of TP reaction from BZM.
Yeah.
But even then, highly likely that Jabs is able to get under your tower and kill off one of your heroes before you can deal with the split.
Absolutely. Looking at those other 2 lanes, though, Slardar is crushing it. Whisper also having an absolutely insane performance right now in the laning phase, 500 ahead of that Naga, and Lorinov at risk of dying here. Has to be careful of his positioning. Not quite the 6 yet. Gets the rune right before it gets killed as well. BZM able to snag that one away. Still not 6. We'll have it off of the catapult, though. Should be fine to survive here, but yeah, power rune this time again, claiming for BZM. And so point out last game, too, BZM, he had a lot of help around that mid lane, too, and he was able to secure, if I'm not mistaken, like 4 or 5 of those early power runes. So see if they give Lorinov a bit more help. They already did bring the snap once. I want to see them keep looking to enable the Storm Spirit.
I came a long way.
The Naga side, in terms of the timings nowadays as well, it's I guess you're sort of taking a long time until you start to get involved, right?
Yeah, it's the same old
Kingslayer's, yeah, he's not going to be involved in any of the action. It's going to be completely down to sort of Lorinov and Jabs.
Who are, I mean, Jabs is going to take the tower. So it's super early that
Jabs
he might be able to just persist through. And BZM's looking for a Steal of the Wisdom with that haste rune. Q gets the stun, he'll be able to deny it away. Or, well, save it for himself. BZM not able to steal. BZM
All right, he might want to die for this.
thinking about it. Oh, a lot of damage
he's
under
going to
tier
stop
2,
thinking
though.
about it.
Almost. Straight up.
Oh, okay, now he's going for
going
it.
for it.
All right,
Not
just
enough.
tease it around. And BZM.
Maniac.
He's just yeah, trying to get in the heads of them.
Pushing the limits, nearly dies, but yeah, pushing it as much as possible there. Tomato, as you said, it's going to be a slow start for him, but similar for this Naga Siren on the side of 23. Both going to just be jungling. And Tomato is going to go down the routes of this Gleipnir, so it's going to be slower toward that Orchid timing that eventually, because it will probably come like next item maybe for the Clinks, unless he feels like he needs a BKB, but he'll at least have that extra catch, and that's going to be good control versus both, right? Versus the Storm and the scaling versus Naga.
Time to set him on a BZM,
Dodges.
but indeed he's able to dodge what they have, and now maybe be ready to turn. Whisper steps up, they get the sleep end stomp onto the two of them, and allows Whisper to step up and take down Q. Jabs diving towers, killing off Ari underneath the tier 1, no problem with how strong the Brewmaster is at this point.
They kind of just have to run away from Jabs. Way too strong. Both these offlaners are just going to be able to run control of this early game here. BZM. He's got a Remnant. Good pressure being forced onto the mid tower. They're trying to make sure that BZM can stay around here because Jabs, he wants to force the issue to take this tower. His vessel's already finished.
Super difficult to lock down BZM. The supports though, Jabs will run at them every single time. Towards Zari.
He's just gonna throw the split.
Why not get an easy kill? Get in underneath that tier 2, take the Rubik down. Maybe see if we get more. Okay,
Not that easy.
Okay, then indeed Ari's able to survive, and now
Split's
Jabs
dying.
is backing off, and now it's getting a little bit awkward for Jabs. Ari's not able to kill Ari that easy at all,
He
apparently.
might die.
And Jabs,
He gets out.
he does indeed. That was very, very close to dying during the split, but Jabs will get away with that. But Ari surviving.
That was they used the glyph on the tier 2 to kill those brews to be able to protect. And Lornoff now going back in.
I'd look to try and trade on towards BZM. BZM, another sleight of fist, and he has a remnant to jump away. Now Jabs.
He's deep.
Certainly is.
He gets the kill, though.
He does actually. BZM ends up ticking out, so Jabs, I mean, he'll take that. He got a kill, and he's making space.
Yeah, and if you die, you know what you get? A Spirit Vessel charge as you do go down. So Will eventually, of course, die to the tower, gets that Vessel charge, and he did get the kill on BZM. Jabs, that's part of all the kills. He actually is all of them.
He's doing everything. He actually is. He really is. As I said, a very kind of slow game from him in game 1. Didn't make a lot of noise, didn't do a whole lot, but this game, my goodness, you put him on his brew, and he's doing literally everything.
And he's making noise. Like you said, noise is important when you're playing something like Naga Siren. So
Yeah.
seeing 23, he's able to just
Get
chill
in
back,
space.
getting that farm up while the Clinks is getting slowed. Actually, Tomato is catching up as well, too, so similar kind of fronts on these two carries. And similar fronts on the, I mean, kind of across the board, really. Both of those offlaners, we said, kind of doing a really good job here. And Lornoff, he is getting a bit more help around that mid lane. We're seeing a lot of rotations, securing these runes, protecting him. Yeah, Seb's tipping Jabs. He's like, yeah, this guy. They're making sure that he's involved, because last game, honestly, Jabs, he was pretty quiet. I don't think we saw much of him until the later stages.
Not at all. This game, yeah, so tenfold making up for that.
Yeah.
This is one of the more explosive brew openings that we've had. We've seen quite a few brews.
Yeah, some of them especially have been having some rough games. You know, in particular, 33, I think he had some of the rougher ones that we saw from the brews at least yesterday, but yes, Jabs set up for success, at least for himself. And great way to be able to make space and continue pressure every time that Promo splits up. And there won't be that Orchid or anything like that to bring him down. There is Chain Stun to be able to bring him down, but no silence for quite some time. Tomato wants to eat the creep. Oh, he saves it. Nicely done. He saw Tomato with that sentry he placed down, so he keeps the Dark Troll Summoner away from him so he can't just eat it. Tomato eats the catapult instead. But the tower drops. Nice moves. Very good early aggression.
Much slower start for OG this time now.
And it is going to mean that Kingslayer, as we said, going to be able to get that farm, and he is going to go down the route of that Orchid. The natural build-up that we've seen from these Nagas in the past. The skater build, I like to call it, because I feel like he was the one that kind of started it about 2+ years ago, that Manza into Orchid build. Which will be very good versus something like BZM, if he gets that good timing. And BZM he's kind of the one that has to be that full solution as the game starts getting. Not the only one, of course, him and the Clinks, but BZM in the early game, the solution for the Naga to hunt him. And BZM has been slowed down a decent chunk here.
Just continue to farm in this area right underneath sort of the Naga Siren, just to keep Kingslayer a little bit on edge.
Just be annoying, you know, just poke him, keep him a little bit low constantly, make him feel a little bit worried. Because he's still very elusive. Until that Orchid or anything comes out, BZM, if he plays down there, they'd have to rotate a lot to be able to push him out, so pushing the limits of the hero. And Lornoff does get another rune, so continues to just get the control here and getting closer and closer to his own Orchid too, so they'll have 2 Orchids to be able to, of course, silence up that Ember. And this slow pace, it's great for Aurora.
Yeah, Jabs is getting time to farm towards the Radiance. The Orchid for Lornoff's going to be there very, very soon.
OG trying to find something here, trying to make a move here. They have the blink on the Slaughter. They want to try to get something going. They don't want this game to be too slow versus this Naga Siren and this Brewmaster who's just sitting back farming a Radiance.
Dire are scanning.
See who they can find. It'll be a big battle here.
They're going to go for Ari first, but Ari, the split out
off.
range. The split does come off in time. They'll turn towards Tomato. Focus the clinks. Tomato's able to jump away. He'll turn towards the split, start to try clearing them out. Ollie
Tomato's
down
gone
low,
now.
but he's healing up. He'll finally fall to the Sleight of Fist there coming through from BZM. Jabs, he's got to be careful with the Primal Split getting low. He's going to get caught by the chains. BZM's able to clean him up as well. Double kill for the Ember Spirit. He's not done yet. Chasing over towards Q, Lornoff, and Kingslayer's now turned up to the fight. We'll see how much Kingslayer could do here, though. I'm surprised he's here. This team fight, he's got to get out. He'll indeed immediately start TPing away as they've already lost 3 on Aurora.
They're chasing.
And Lornoff using his last bit of mana to try and get away from this. But it's a stolen zip forward as well from Ari. He's also ready to close the gap. Gets in with a Fade Bolt. The Remnant forwards there. Lornoff, he's out of mana. And he's out of
Ollie.
life. Oh.
ATB's in. He's probably just dead.
Well, he's definitely just dead. Dear.
OG. They strike back hard.
Oh, they do. Oh, well, Aurora, things were looking pretty good. And then that kind of happened. And some of they were set up for. They went up there with the 3 of them. Looked to start a fight. The rest of the team came to join, but it was just a little bit too slow. It was just too much of an awkward play. They try and go in on Ari, but Ari's already able to keep his distance. It turns towards Tomato, but
It took him a long time to kill Tomato.
indeed, he's jumping around between the skeletons, and they can't get him that quickly. It takes so much, and at this point, you know, the amount of spells that have been used to kind of clear through the Primal Split, Japs, he's dead.
Yeah, BZM also having so many targets to hit. I think he's just invulnerable the whole fight. He's just sleight of fisting. He's in invulnerability. Comes back up again, slights again. He did 5,000 damage in that fight. And to put in reference, the entire lineup of Aurora in that fight did 5,800. So the Ember almost matched the damage of an entire lineup. Not including the Naga Siren.
It just felt they didn't really need to look for that fight, Aurora, but they went looking for it. They were very close to some of the items as well. We saw at the end there, you know, Lornoff, he was just 100 gold away from the Orchid. He's got it now on the respawn, and we'll be able to catch BZM by surprise. So straight back into action, they'll take the Ember down.
So good move. Yeah, them fighting back into that one. They probably thought that they could win it because they had the Primal there and they had these numbers and everything. But yeah, BZM was able to do some good work. But now, with that Orchid reveal, do get a big kill. And they, you know, Kingslayer at the end of it all too, 23, was able to still get away, get that farm going, and keep himself a good difference between him and the Clink. Since Tomato, he's kind of the sacrifice this game. 4 deaths on him. They've been going for him first. His other cores are doing quite well because of it, but he is a little bit slowed down on this Clink. Only a bit though. I thought he'd be actually quite a bit more behind because of those 4 deaths, but he's finding quite a lot of farm. All things considered.
Jump onto Ollie. He's got the heals going up, and Stomp comes in. They've got a lot of magical burst to bring him down low. He's getting healed up, but he'll finally fall. Jabs is going to attempt to fight back. Has got the split if he wants to fully commit for this. Kingslayer also looking to join the action. He's coming in on the Naga Siren. Can't quite get any catch onto OG, and it's a good split. Jabs is getting pretty low. Lornoff's going to be able to get the jump over towards the Slardar. Catches Whisper. Whisper will die under the cover of the Orchid.
Split was used as well too. Jabs wants more. He's gonna look to back away now, so unable to find an extra one. He's very low once the split ends, 400 HP and
A bit of a pause,
a
Arena.
pause.
Do you like this as well? I thought we don't see this a lot, right? But Ollie feeling that he, by looks of it, is going to be the one that needs to or wants to get a Crimson online for the team.
Cool. I mean, I was literally thinking about looking around. I was like, this is a game where we're probably gonna see no auras. You know, I was clicking around on pretty much everybody, so it's pretty cool. It's gonna make him pretty survivable versus these slight spams versus the Slardar. And that slight spam was actually what lost him that last fight. If he's able to get it, it's gonna be strong.
No, it's going to take some time. And I guess does hurt his overall scaling, right? We see typically, right, Enchantresses being able to scale themselves and get to some crazy point, but
He's got Naga, Siren, Storm.
exactly.
These are the late
he
game
feels,
monsters.
indeed, as long as he can just kind of help the team get through this rougher part, get the Vanguard online for himself, and then I'd imagine, is it just going to be a Vanguard for himself, or will he go straight for the Crimson for the team?
I
Does
think
he stop at Vanguard?
I mean, maybe he doesn't even finish it. We'll see.
Okay.
I saw him switching it up. I was wondering maybe if he does just go down the route of just, himself having that one and then just going like the mech and stuff and Greaves and whatnot. But they also do have, oh, sorry, Snap already has it. Apologies. So Snap does have that mech. So, okay, just kidding. We're going to have a lot of Auras probably on the side of Aurora.
Yeah, the supports are trying to get them online.
Yeah, so they're looking to just stabilize that mid game versus the high damage that OG has to be able to get to the later stages. So he could go the Crimson if he wants to, but might just go down the route of drums.
My just reward.
That was the strength gain, actually. Just going to check really quick. I mean, Enchantress's strength gain isn't really that high, so the Crimson block isn't the most effective on this hero. Kind of the other thing I was thinking about.
Sure, so just want Vanguard for himself, as you say, to help against the Slight.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Maybe just, like I said, maybe he just goes the Vitality. Okay, he does that extra bite, so it's fine. But I was thinking maybe he just does do drums. But sure. It's going to make him a lot more survivable versus Slaughter, Ember, all 3 cores in particular. And the longer he survives, it's definitely important. Something I didn't actually point out at the start of the game, he does have the Dispel mechanic, which is pretty important in this game. Playing versus the Ember Spirit, playing versus that ET, as you see, and even versus the Slaughter, actually, to be able to get rid of these sprints. But BZM, he didn't go down the Flame Guard route, probably because of that. He's gone for the Slight Chains for the extra catch, and also so he doesn't get Dispelled. And they're gonna look to sneak this Roche, level 12, level 2 Corrosive Haze. They've got it finished. And Tomato is close to his one big item, right? That Gleipnir is going to come online in a second for them to get these consistent fights. But Kingslayer might start to join these fights as well, too, because he is pretty farmed on this Naga.
Roshan has fallen to the Dire.
Any big neutral items I'm seeing getting picked up? Storm got Grove Bow. Probably the biggest one. Pupil's good stuff to not bad on the inch. Super tanky. Vanguard plus that. High HP. And Radiance, as you see there, very close to being done. Aurora's going to hit a lot of timings here. OG, are they going to put the strike at least before the Radiance, and do they want to is the question.
Going to go for Tomato immediately, Aurora.
He's very alone.
Yeah, there's no saving him. So an easy catch there for Aurora down in the bottom lane.
5 deaths for Tomato. I mean, they have this number this game. Jabs in particular.
Has managed to get his Gleipnir done, but yeah, the farm difference right now.
It's starting to really show.
Kingslayer really getting to be in his element. 250 last hits at 18 minutes in. He's been Naga Siren.
He's able to do the Naga Siren things. There's no attention being put onto him because of how much they're able to apply with jabs and with the Storm Spirit at this point. So that Naga pick's definitely working now. See how much it's able to do in these later stages that the game will progress.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Because they will
attack.
still have that Ember, they will still have this ET, and the Gleipnir, of course, that's going to be pretty good versus the Naga Siren.
Will it be enough? Because you sort of what, you get the Orchid, you get the Heart, and then when after you've got the Heart, these illusions are probably going to survive through the spells that OG has to throw down at them.
Until they start getting like max natural order and stuff like that, but that's a ways away. That's going to take some time for the ET to get that. And also, BZM, he has gotten a little slowed down. He's gone for Mage Slayer. He doesn't have something like that, Maelstrom or anything to be that answer for the Naga as well, too, so. We're in a very good spot right now. OG looking to kind of try to break that a little bit with this Aegis. They're not finding the targets. These lanes are just shoved in. There's just illusions pushing them out. There's Enchantress creeps pushing them out. Unable to find an opportunity. And Aurora, they back up. And the timing, they've got the Radiance now. So these team fights look pretty difficult for OG. Unless they can somehow 100 to 0 the Brew.
Dagger as well, so further ways to start the fight. Whisper and BZM.
Jabs is here.
Leading the web, the zips there for Znorinov. They're going to go straight for Ari. They're getting onto the jump onto the Rubik. Ari's out the fight.
They're on BZM. Whisper.
Trying to deal with the split, but at this point doesn't really have the damage to do so. So Jabs is perfectly fine. He can turn over towards Whisper with the help of Q and Lorinov. They're threatening Whisper. I mean, Snapfire does die, but Whisper will fall for his efforts.
Tomato is committed. He gets himself out.
He's sort of holding them in position in the river, buying time for the rest of the team to connect over. Tomato is going to get caught by the Vortex. They'll be able to drag back the Clings, take him down as well. They found 3 of them. See if they can find another. Kingslayer is going to have to net in a couple of seconds. Seb's pretty speedy, though.
That was a great song. He split the whole team off from trying to connect to Whisper and Tomato. Beautiful play there from 23.
We're seeing multiple times in the game so far, he's not afraid of turning up to the fights. And sure, in the early ones, he wasn't really able to do anything aggressively, but he never got caught, he never got punished for it, and it hasn't really negatively impacted his farm.
No, and Jabs, I mean, they were prepared there. Aurora were all there. They get the split. As soon as that split happens, I think OG's kind of in panic mode, looking to split up all over the place, because they just can't fight into this brew with Radiance or with Split right now. When Whisper, I think, when Whisper jumps in, he's like, I'm committed. Like, I just have to go for the kill, because I know I'm dead at this point, so. We see the way that they split that fight up, and it's perfect for Aurora.
Absolutely. I don't mind this at all right from Aurora, just taking Ari out of the fight at the start. Because you know him on his Rubik, if you let him get to play the team fight, he's going to cause a lot of issues.
Whisper again goes down.
And they're ready to just continue to snowball into it more. They get the jump over towards Seb. Jabs, he's got his eyes over towards Zara. They've got the net as well to hold down the Rubik. They're just getting kill after kill after kill.
And Lornoff has the BKB. He's alive. They've got the Greaves.
He's pretty low on mana. He's not really going to have to wait to get out of this. It's almost certainly the Aegis going down. Maybe even more. They get the grab on the Tomato on the side. He's caught by the net. Tomato's dead. They're ready to try and set up for a second round on a BZM. He's got anywhere to jump to. He has. He's got the Remnant up. BZM should be fine, but still, that's the Aegis taken away from him. The rest of his team dying. Aurora, they're winning these fights. And this is all whilst they have this Naga Siren. Kingslayer having a brilliant game on top of it all.
This game has now hit incredibly rough portions for OG. Even with an Aegis, they can't even take down a single target. The Snapfire has Greaves. They've got every single timing hit, and the Naga Siren is massive on top of all of it, too.
I mean, they're hitting beyond their momentum, really, Aurora. A lot of it down to, of course, just fantastic early game from Jabs. Lornoff this time around, you say he's been struggling on the main stage, but this time the team's able to sort of band together, help him out in that point that he's been struggling, kind of just coming out of the laning stage, that 10-minute mark. They get him through that, and now he's absolutely able to have impacts at the Storm, 5-1 and 6. It's all coming together for Aurora in a way that OG don't seem to be quite prepared for. They're going to smoke up on OG, but going into these fights now, it's very difficult.
Yeah, these feel a bit desperate. Like they need to just try to catch him off guard while BKB's on cooldown, get some type of kill going for themselves. Try, but
he's already on his way out.
It's gone.
And it's too quick, and a great dodge there of the crush.
Lornoff, this time showing off.
He's ready, he's warmed up.
The gameplay, it looks night and day difference.
Yep.
Just the way that they played around him, like you said, setting up for success, being able to shut down BZM's momentum a little bit, even though he had that one good fight on the Ember. It seems like a distant memory now at this point. And Tomato, he's just had no game.
He's had a rough one.
Another Orchid at BZM is gone.
And they might even get more once again. They get the catch on towards Seb. Aurora, excellent at just turning each of these kills into so much more. I mean, that one, again, a bit of a, as you say, just sort of panic moves from OG. You know, the two of them sort of hanging around the triangle like that, it's just risky moves.
Yeah, it does feel like a bit of desperation. They're just trying to find people off guard when they didn't have BKBs or anything up, but immediately just get struck back there from Aurora. They're prepared for every single one of these, and looking to perhaps knock on the high ground here with these auras. I believe the Crimson is also finished for the
I like
Edge.
this from Molly. I mean, am I completely missing something, or is this something that other engines are not doing? I mean, it's 4 minutes faster than the fastest, so without a doubt, sure, it's been in some other games, but being rushed like this, it's not been the case.
I think
this game, it feels perfect, just because of the draft, the timings that they've hit. So getting the Crimson, we already know Crimson is a pretty good item.
It is.
And this game, if anyone was going to build it, it's going to have to needed to be Ollie. He's got it, and yeah, in the team fights now, good luck to OG trying to do damage to kill off these heroes, kill off these illusions.
Absolutely. I feel like if you have an offlaner that's not going to go the auras, your support's just buy the auras now.
It doesn't matter what hero you are.
The meta just feels very, very good for these auras.
Just get them online.
Yep. This game, not so necessary for them to get a pipe, of course, because they're playing into mostly physical damage of that Ember, the Slardar, the Clink, so he just opts for that. And now they have the Heart, so the Naga at critical mass, and they have Split at the ready to be able to just push the issue forward here. OG can't even hang on to their high ground. And does Aurora actually want to fully push either, too? Because they do just keep scaling, so maybe don't even need to take the risk of going for the push. Executed beautifully so far.
It really has.
And yeah, they have the late game secured with their lineup as well, too, so... OG, they do have pretty good high ground defense. That Ember, that ET, it is very difficult to just be able to push if they're alive. So Aurora might just back off, Split, farm the map, get the Aegis, and then force the issue through after there as OG... We'll just have to kind of wait until they do have that type of opportunity if they do clump up. Because they do have good ways to combo. So if there's a clump up that happens from Aurora, that might be what OG needs.
Let's try there from Q. Seeing if you get the cookie connection onto BZM as BZM came out of the slide. BZM Very quick with the jump back on the random.
Radiant's bottom
These
tower
aims
is
from
under
Kingslayer
attack.
also on top of the heart, making good moves towards the butterfly. He gets that butterfly on top of the heart. These illusions aren't dying.
Yeah, there's the physical there. It's like all physical, really, on OG. He's already having a perfect game. So OG probably look to
Dire's top
just
tower
kind of do
is
some
under
crazy
attack.
stuff on the map to try to be able to get some extra items. But Tomato, while attempting to do these crazy things, will get caught.
Yeah, he's just dead again.
That's 8 for Tomato.
It's just not been his game. Completely different than the last one, right? His
Completely
Ursa
different.
was brilliant. You know, playing against this lane that you thought he was going to struggle, and he did not.
He did not at all.
He had insane performance, but this game on his Clinks has
show
a
it
lot to
again.
be desired for.
Oh, and look at this bullying. Goodbye. Why is the Clink's attack? Also, I didn't talk about it, but why is this Clink's attack doing this thing? I know
Well,
it's-
the effects,
Yeah,
like
it's
miles
just like
away behind the thing that it's hitting.
yeah, it's very annoying. I thought it was linked to his other, the other facet, the one that the reduced
No,
damage
it's
thing.
not
No,
in-
it's just
it's
linked
not
to his
intended.
attack. It looks funny.
Radiant's top tower is
Already
under
cutting some creep
attack.
waves, trying to buy time. 50 seconds until that Roche that Aurora can just go for freely.
No, she's not going to be coming out there anytime soon.
No, and BZM still not even having a BKB, so anytime he does show,
Yep.
is at risk of dying. Perhaps they're gonna look to smoke out and go for the fight around there.
Oh!
What?
Pause.
I was like, huh? What?
Let's see, I mean,
So, I mean, there's not
do
really.
they
any
want
other
to
big
go to this
items.
Roche fight?
I mean, it's
mean-
desperate, right? They have to try to fight that area and hope for some type of, like, they stack up and get hit by a 5-man ET Spirit into a Gleipnir plus that Burning Barrage, but it's a tall ask. There's Bruce split on cooldown for 60 seconds, so perhaps just trying to take advantage of that cooldown as well, trying to get some type of fight opportunity, but a very difficult one at this point. Whisper, no BKB. He has a Yules, but with this type of itemization, he jumps in, gets a stun off, and he's committed. He's likely to just die immediately afterwards from how much they have. You can see 23, a completely different kind of posture check from him. He looks much
he's
more
ready.
excited this time than the last game playing the gyro.
It's, you know, I think he's just happy to get to play the Nagasara.
Yeah.
There's some of these Nagasaran players, they just love playing the hero. Because
Yeah,
when you do
definitely.
get this good sort of start, there's no other hero really that can just clean up the map and just max out your CS, max out your farm to the same extent as a Nagasaran in a game where you're just, you know, you've been rewarded with the fact that you played this opening so well that no one can deal with you. You can do
Yeah.
what you want on the map.
I mean, you high five Jabs, and you go, Jabs, you have 100% kill involvement, my buddy.
Yeah, I mean,
6,
Jabs is on fire.
2, and
He
13.
really has been.
Literally all 19 kills.
Let's see if he keeps it up. Tomato! Oh!
Him
They're
again.
going to find him at the start of the fight. This time he's going to have backup. Whisper comes in with the crush, but the Crimson Guards pop. Do they have any sort of damage on OG to take these heroes down? Lawrence in with the Vortex drag back on a Whisper. Whisper will buy some time as he uses up into the air. Kingslayer's coming in for the side of the fight. They get the silencer on the BZM. Kingslayer.
He's getting controlled
He's
a
getting
bit.
kind of low here on the
He
Nagasara.
actually is
This
gonna go
time he's
down.
gone. Kingslayer will fall. Seb does die, but can OG get something more out of this fight? I mean, already, if they can just sort of bail out, they'll absolutely take this. Killing off the Nagasaran, only losing Seb. That's a big kill.
How'd Tomato live? They got on him first and somehow just able to jump away as this clinks with his facet. Somehow is able to survive, and he did stand next to the ET. Nagasaran did run in right on top of that ET. Split is about to be coming back up, though.
Oh, they're
Jabs.
looking to go again.
Jabs has Split.
Let's see what they can do. They get the jump in on towards Ari. They get the pull back onto him as well. That's going to be Ari out. Does his pop. Tomato this time we'll see if he's able to retreat. Whisper's going to be chased down by Jabs. Whisper turns with the yours. He's able to hold back Jabs, give him some space to get out in time, and Whisper will survive, but Tomato, this time, he will fall.
They don't even need the Split. He just walks at them threateningly, menacingly. Still a good fight from OG with all things considered with how far behind they are, but inevitably right afterwards, they committed quite a lot to be able to find that. And that was a bit of a misstep there, of course, there from 23, maybe getting a bit too excited.
I think so. Just got a bit too ahead of himself.
Yeah.
Was like, I'm unkillable. It's 5, but Tomato, this time, he will fall.
They don't even need the Split. He just walks at them threateningly, menacingly. Still a good fight from OG with all things considered with how far behind they are, but inevitably right afterwards, they committed quite a lot to be able to find that. And that was a bit of a misstep there, of course, there from 23, maybe getting a bit too excited.
I think so. Just got a bit too ahead of himself.
Yeah.
Was like, I'm unkillable. Spoiler, he wasn't.
Not when you're standing on top of the ET and everybody is wailing on you with natural order.
Yeah, maybe if he had his next time finished, because he was very close
He
to
was
having the
close to
butterfly
it.
done. He's
Yeah.
about 900 gold away from having the butterfly complete. That might make the difference. He'll have that for the next fight. He's able to join the team, help finish off Roshan.
It's a small poke back, but still the inevitable Aurora will be able to get that Aegis. That butterfly will be finished. And for the next fight, Jabs does have a full AC, so he'll be able to get that plus armor as well for his teammates.
Big.
And he has the split.
Yeah, that's big. Yeah, so AC Aura for Kingslayer and Kingslayer having the butterfly. Pretty much on its way out in a couple hundred gold.
Now that ET Aura is not nearly as menacing. And it's difficult whenever the Primal Split is up for Seb to run in. That's the other thing, too. If the Primal Split's not up, then Seb can actually play a little bit closer to the Nagasarn, but whenever it's up, he just has to play kind of far away distance. Tomato, how close to BKB at the least so he can have something? But, yeah, he's getting there. But he's 1-9. Must be the roughest game for him so far. I think most of the games I saw him having some pretty incredible KDAs, but yeah, this time, it's Jabs. It really is 100% kill involvement on this offlaner.
Yeah, this is, you don't get much better of a brute performance from what Jabs has given us here in this game too.
No, definitely not. It's perfect. And onto the high ground with that butterfly. OG, how do you stall it? They've broken the tower.
Gotta do something. They're gonna try and burst Jabs.
He takes no damage.
He's healing up.
He actually healed.
And they're sort of nearly be able to take that down through backdoor protection. They won't need to worry about that anyway. The creeps are coming in, so this second Rax on the top lane is going to be in trouble. Seb does get dragged back indeed into the damage coming out from Laurenov and Ollie. Seb's gone, no buyback.
Jeez.
Yeah, but he's going to be popped by Laurenov. He's ready to dive in for more. Turns over towards Whisper. Whisper's going to be able to buy some time with the Yules. The song comes out from Kingslayer in an effort to sort of hold back the back lines, trying to allow the rest of the team to dive in under the tier 4, take down Whisper. Continue to use this song to completely control BZM. Laurenov takes Ari out.
And BZM just has to stand there for, what, 20 seconds or something. Has to watch his team just die.
And Jabs? He's just not really dying.
He's not taking any damage.
He heals up.
He didn't even pop the Craggy, I don't think. He didn't even need it. He had 60 armor, 66 armor. They've just been tipping each other back and forth. Will he end with... I think he's going to end with 100% kill involvement.
He's got this close so far. We don't want to see that sort of taken away from him.
He deserves it. Throw the brew. Ah, nice. He gets an assist right there if he does go down.
It looks like he will do. Saves himself momentarily with the Yules, but indeed, Whisper still falls.
100%.
Now for 75 seconds, there's a dieback on him.
Can just stick around. They're all full HP. These auras keeping them topped off. Ollie just standing in the front lines, too. BZM. The 5-man Gleipnir.
That's all we can do now. They're bringing Kingslayer relatively low, but he of course got that Aegis. Tomato's coming for the wrap out for the back lines. Pots the BKB. He's trying to fight this. They're going to burst onto Jabs, but again, Jabs is just healing up. This Brew has no cares in the world. See, Laurenov will fall. Or maybe Jabs will care about this now. He's finally taken down. They're actually able to bring him out, and that's going to be a lot of money going over towards him, Azari.
Laurenov dying too.
We'll put an end to him.
And another one.
Okay, it's a bit of a hold here from OG. Kill onto Q.
Kingslayer.
Going to be able to get the catch on towards Ollie as well.
Gets caught.
OG, the defense comes in. All right, we'll see what they can do with this. We did see, of course, last game, Aurora make some of these sort of defenses when they were very far behind. They weren't able to turn that into a turnaround and bring the game back in their way. OG, now in this game too, a bit of a turn of the tables. Let's see if they're able to make some sort of a comeback with these sort of holds.
The ET Ember. Tons of damage. What, BZM doing 10,000. I don't even know how many slide chains. He did land a 5-man Gleipnir with that follow-up there from that ET. 4 heroes go down. The Nagasarn does survive. He got low. He actually got quite low at the start of everything there. He reset and ran away from his team, so almost actually got him as well, too.
He's going to have the BKB for the next fight, Kingslayer, so can really get involved and also kind of put that BKB maybe and focus some objectives and try and accelerate the end of this game.
And as you said before, we did see similar, OG, pushing the issue a little too hard in that last game to Aurora. They stuck around for a long time. They literally stayed there the whole duration until Split was coming back up pretty much. Jabs, it's going to be back up now for that fight.
I guess the question was, who was more comfortable, would you say? Aurora in this moment or OG in this moment last game? Now, which of the two games was harder to turn around, would you say?
The last one.
This one, there's more of a chance for OG.
Just because of Elder and Ember. If you do really start to just throw bodies, ET Aura starts to become very relevant as the game progresses. I mean, they still have the knowledge, just like you said, if they throw, if they literally throw.
Kingslayer leading the way.
Like this time around, what I would... I'll wait for a second here. Like the other game, like Gyrocopter just didn't really have a great like great combo, like who he was good versus in that game, I would say the Ember and the Clinks have more argument that they can eventually become good versus a Nagasar. Not good right now, but if they do get a couple more items, you know. But yeah, still not. They still need Dota.
He's been seen. He's going to spot the BKB, go for the TP out, but they've got the damage to take him down through it. He's out for a minute.
Yeah, okay. And never mind. Very quickly shot down.
That's probably that little bit of a hope gone.
Yeah, it's very small anyway, but
on they go with the push. Aurora back to business inside the base of OG.
Splits at the ready. They can just close out the Megas. No Tomato. They need every single little thing that they can to bring down anything, and they need a very long team fight to even have a chances. That's the Mega creeps after this next Rax does drop in the mid, and Jab still has split.
Oh, Kingslayer's ready to set something up here.
He's had some really kind of cool songs this game.
I mean, it's given them the space to commit onto Ari at the side. They take out the Rubik. Now Kingslayer's ready to go to town on Seb. They lock him down, take him out. BZM has to jump away. The buyback comes out from Ari. And Aurora, they're happy to reset a bit. They can play it pretty casual as they manage to claim the Mega creeps.
What tips is that?
Oh no, bad news, Fogged.
What's that?
Jabs missed a kill.
No, he didn't.
He did.
No, he missed kill.
No, he did, and that's why Seb's tipping him, I'm sure. But he probably yeah. They're missing out on the 100% kill participation. I didn't quite catch whose fault that was. Probably Kingslayer's, right? With the way that maybe he wasn't back around for Seb.
Yeah, still
he was going on Ari the other side. So.
Still our MVP. I mean,
we'll consider it 100%.
Yeah, it's 100%.
You know, 99 is basically the same as 100.
Yeah.
If in the scale of 0 to affinity, it's essentially the same number.
Sure. So if you bring up that that win probability by your argument,
it's at 0% right
it's
now.
at 99. So that's 100% essentially based off what you just said.
Exactly. Exactly. Small numbers.
Exactly. Still going to take a pretty big throw, of course, from Aurora for OG to be able to bring it back, especially now Tomato died right afterwards there, too. Had to use buyback, and now they're Mega creeped. That has to be the roughest game from Tomato and probably one of the best ones I've seen from Jabs.
I think so. Yeah, I think sort of, as I said for Jabs, I think that last game was one of the roughest games for Jabs so far this tournament. And now he's given us his best one.
Yep. Making up for it in stride. Yeah, perfect itemization, too. I loved it. We've been seeing more and more of that Vessel kind of rise up, even though, I mean, I say rise up. It wasn't the old build, and people just skipped it and went for Radiance, then they go back for it now, so yeah, he's done it perfectly.
What's a Q here from Whisper? I mean, Ollie is chilling on the cliff.
And here comes Kingslayer.
Indeed, he's coming in with the wrap, and they've got a Hex finished up as well on Lorinov, so they can go on whatever target they want to. Ari is trying to back away. And a force out to the side, BZM popping the BKB, but he's almost certainly going to have to start retreating as well. The Stomp comes out. We'll hold back Lorinov and Kingslayer momentarily. Kingslayer continues to push forward. Whisper has to retreat with the remaining bit of his BKB. So he'll get back out. BZM also to jump away. So OG don't lose anyone.
No, but the Megas, they're coming in. They're starting to be a big problem. They can't even deal with these creeps. Seb's trying. Not level 20 yet on this ET to be able to deal with those Megas. Is Aurora. They'll back away, though. The split was used. They used also, I believe, that BKB on the Storm, so they'll reset a bit. If they want to be super safe, they go for that Roche. It's going to be spawning very soon. They already have the Enchantress creep in there, so... Oh, it actually dies. And the Roche spawns right after. I mean, that's just comedy. Yeah, the Centaur creep, so... They are prepared for it, though, Aurora. Imagine they're just going to shift themselves up there toward that Roche. And OG... you can't get out there to contest because these Mega creeps, so...
You don't. You don't do that.
No.
You gotta wait. You gotta just hope that Aurora do something crazy on the high ground if you're OG.
Maybe just looking for... I mean, they're just annoying BZM, okay. That Aghanim's Panda.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Aurora, grab the Roche, get the Aegis.
Give that Ags to your Storm Spirit. He's got the blue hole then, on top of everything.
OG will prepare themselves for one final defense, as it looks to be, with the incredible lead that Aurora has. Ooh.
Oh, Whisper. Hello.
I think he didn't get the memo that they weren't going to try and fight around the Roshamp pit. He's got the BKB, he's going through the Twin Gate.
He makes it through.
Okay.
But nice.
He's dead anyway. All right, well, he does not even have buyback, actually, so that's not even... I don't know. Hey, sometimes you got to go for it.
He was going to go for a steal.
I guess he was going to go for a steal.
He was going to just try for it.
There we go. Yeah, as you say. They got to take some risks, take some chances, and going for a steal was going to be the chance that he's going to go for. But, of course, that does mean he's not here for the defense, which, at the end of the day, probably means a lost game is going to be lost anyway.
Yep. Went for the YOLO play.
They went for the other play.
Yep, didn't happen. All right. We'll just watch him. Tomato is playing base defense. He's just eating his skeletons. He's having a good time here. Full HP Clink's just jumping back and forth on the skeletons.
That's what they got here. OG 4 versus 5. Have they got anything left in the tank? Azari, he'll get caught. He's gone. No buyback for him either. Aurora push on. Onto the tier 4s. The splits out. Aurora moving forward to look to claim this victory. The fortification will come out. Aurora, they don't mind getting some more kills on the way out here. They'll jump over towards Seb. Standing his ground against Lauren up, but Seb, he's not quite punching hard enough. BZM caught in the vortex. The silence, the hex as well. It's not enough to kill him. BZM will be able to survive. Whisper jump back in over towards the split, but the split comes to an end. The Ancient's exposed. BZM jumping in deep with the BKB. He'll have to jump back with the Remnant as he starts to fall very low to the 5 of them.
They're all full health.
I mean, they get the catch on a Kingslayer, but Kingslayer's got the BKB. Laurenov jumps in, takes BZM out. Laurenov will die for this. Can OG get anything else out from this one? They throw down the Earth Splitter from Seb. Tomato turns over towards Jazz, but Aurora, they're looking to close it up. Kingslayer's focusing the Ancient.